and welcome back to another Monster Hunter Wilds video. Today I just wanted to make a little discussion video and maybe spark up some discussion in the comments on a potential new weapon for Monster Hunter. Now, Monster Hunter has historically had 14 weapons in the mainline series, and maybe 15 if you want to count the medium bowgun, which is just an irrelevant piece of weaponry at this point. I would really love to see a 15th dropped into the series, and I have a few ideas for it, and I'd like to hear your ideas for it. So let's just get it out of the way. Yeah, I could go with the easy answer and just say, hey, put the Tonfas in the game. You know, put the magnet spike in the game, put the rocket axe, power axe, whatever that thing was called from Monster Hunter Explore, was it? I can't remember which one that was from, but yeah, no, I don't want any of those. I'm talking something completely new and built around the new Monster Hunter games. And I would have to say, I would absolutely love to see some kind of more ground-based spear weapon. Or give us a spear on the end of a chain, right? And hear me out, right? Imagine having a spear on the end of a chain that doubles as a ranged weapon. So we can basically use this as a close range spear, fast jabbing attacks, a couple slash attacks, etc. And then we're able to launch the spear, like javelin style, and attach it with a chain. Now what we can do with that is we can either pull it out to create potential like wound damage, or we can pull ourselves towards the monster and do some kind of big attack to pull the weapon out of its hide. I think that would be very cool. Now, the idea of a chain weapon in general could work very well in this game. I could see it working very nicely with Wild's new speed and focus system. And I would absolutely love to see some kind of chain whip weapon. But the idea of having a spear that you can javelin throw and then kind of grapple back with, I think would be really awesome. Now, it could pose potential issues, you know, you grapple to the monster and then the monster does some really big move or flies. Well, then after a certain distance, you just make the monster detach, or the spear detach from the monster. I think that would make the most sense to me. Now, what else could we potentially be seeing as a new weapon? Now, I think, considering there are 11 bladed weapons and there are only 3 ranged weapons, I could totally see a new range weapon being added. Now, what would I potentially add for a new range weapon? Well, dude, do you know what would be really cool? Imagine 2 mini dual crossbows. I think that would go so unbelievably hard. Dude, could you imagine the annihilation you could deliver with 2 mini crossbows, dual wielding them, blasting shots, and being able to precisely aim where you wanted them? Maybe you could even have separate ailments on the separate crossbows. You could do something like we had with Teostra's dual blades in World Fire and Ice, where one does obviously blast damage and one does ice damage. That would be awesome. I would love to see like one with paralysis and one with poison. I think that would be crazy fun to use. And I just think there's so much potential for new weapons in Wilds. Now, I know the developers have already commented on the idea of new weapons, and they have said that they wouldn't be able to balance a new one as comfortably in this game as they have been able to do with the game's monsters and weapons that have been in the games for so long. But I think that's kind of, in the nicest way to the team, a lazy excuse to not add a new weapon. Saying you can't balance a new weapon is kind of silly, because they added new weapons in the past, right? And they add new monsters all the time. They're able to balance them. I don't see why we can't get a new weapon. Oh, there's one right on his ass. Let's get that. Beautiful. He is so close to death. But yeah, I would love to hear some of your suggestions for weapons. I mean, I could totally imagine that chain spear's focus attack right now. You throw the spear into the monster, pull yourself to it, grab, and then pull it out, and it like breaks the wound. Yes. I could see so many awesome ways for these weapons to work. Maybe the 2 dual pistols, you could like, I don't even know, for a focus attack. You could do some crazy stuff. You could like just blast them both together at the same time with a big charge blast right into the body. There's some crazy cool ideas, and I'd love to see them realized. And I would also just love to see what the Capcom development team could come up with given the chance to generate a new weapon for the game. Now, do I think Monster Hunter needs a new weapon? No. I think Monster Hunter works fine how it is. Would a new weapon be absolutely awesome in the expansion? Yes. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and totally drop me some of your ideas. I would love to do a video covering your suggestions. And if you have any artwork to back those ideas up, send them in the Discord. I'll happily check them out and potentially put them in a video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. In a bit.